it's Maymay, and today we're going to make a sunflower wreath. I'm excited about this one. I've seen a lot of people doing this. I say a lot. I watched the folks on trendytree.com. They did one, and they didn't do it like I did. And the reason I'm not doing it just like they do is I'm kind of trying to save a little money, I think. I don't know if it will or not, but I got these foam circles that I've had for a while. This is a 8.8 inch round circle, and I picked these up at Walmart quite a while ago. I have this really pretty yellow mesh. It's not calling it Deco mesh, it's just mesh. It doesn't have shimmer in it, it's just yellow mesh. It's 12 inches wide and it's 35 inches long. This is a Celebrated brand, it's from Michael's. And then I have this Deco mesh it's called Bronze, and I think I picked this up at Walmart. This feels like Walmart. And I've had this for a while in my stash. It's 10 inches wide and 10 yards of it. So I'm going to use those. I'm going to utilize my leftover straight pins and T-pins. I'm going to try to use all those up before I go buy any more. You will need something to cut your mesh with. I'm going to use my scissors from Tim Holtz. And then I may possibly use a glue gun. I don't know. I'm going to try not to use a glue gun to make this really easy, but we'll see. So first things first, I'll move this aside, and I'm going to start with my yellow mesh. Oh, it does have a shimmer to it. You couldn't tell in the plastic. So there is a shimmer, but it's just a mesh. It doesn't say Deco mesh. I'm going to cut some strips of this mesh. Now, in a perfect world, you'd measure this and make it a 12 by 12 square, and that'll be fantastic if you want to do that. I'm going to cut one and let one be my pattern, and I'm not going to really measure it. I'm just going to kind of eyeball the size, and that feels like a good square to me, so I'm going to cut that. And you certainly could lay out a ruler, lay out a yardstick, anything like that, and do this. But the thing I love about mesh is that it's pretty forgiving. So that's about the size I'll be using for my petals, because we're going to make the sunflower. And the way I'm going to do the petal, and this is something Trendy Tree did do. She did it a couple of ways. I'm going to try it this way. I'm going to start at one corner and gather to the other corner, like so. And that leaves me with something that looks like this. So I have a point and a point. And then I'm just going to fold that in half. Now my pin is going to go through here, and I'll show you that in a minute, but this will be the length of your petal. So you'll really get two petals from one square. So here's the foam, and I'm going to attach it to the edge here like this. And my plan is to do one layer all the way around and then another layer on top before I do the center. So I'm also not going to remove the plastic. In case you wanted to put this outside, I don't know, it might be good to keep the plastic on, and it doesn't hurt a thing if there's plastic on it. So I'm going to leave that there. So let's attach our first petal. So it came loose when I let go of it, so I'm just going to put it back in place like so. Okay, so I'm holding the center. I'm going to take a T-pin and stick it through the middle. Be careful with these, you don't want to hurt yourself. And then I'm going to stick it into the side of my styrofoam. And that's pretty snug with that T-pin. I don't think I need any hot glue there. Now the thing is, when I'm filling this up, the other petals are going to help to fill it just like this. Can you see how that's going to, the next petal will push these up and push these up and push these up. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut a bunch of these. So I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, so I've made a pile of yellow pieces. And I'm going to be honest, I don't feel like this is a square. So this is about an 8 inch wide strip. I'm not too worried about having perfect, because a flower's not perfect and it's geo mesh, it's very forgiving. So we'll see how it goes. They're about 8 inches wide. So now what I'm going to do, same thing from one corner to the other, because my petal comes from this tip and this tip. Okay, so bring this back over. I'm going to put a pin in here in the middle, and then I'm going to fold it up with that pin sticking out and come next to this one. And this is where you decide how close you want it to go. I'm going to go pretty close. I'm not going to cram them right on each other, but pretty close. And as you can see, as this starts to grow, we'll end up with our petals like this. So let's do another one. Just like so. Squish all that in there. Stick a pin through the middle of it. I love working with T-pins and Geo Mesh. I think that they just really work well together. We will stick this in. The other cool thing is because I'm not hot gluing, I have some room to adjust. Next one. And the only thing I'm really concerned about is making sure that my points are outside like that. I'm going to take this one and pin it in place. See how the petals aren't the same and it doesn't matter? Because it's Geo Mesh. It's, you know, it's very forgiving. Some will be longer, some will be shorter, because like I said, I just really did it very random. Stick that through. Fold it up. Hook it in. And I think that looks really pretty. Alright, I'm going to keep doing the same thing all the way around. Rolling these into the center like this. Stick it in the pin. Folding it and put it in there. If you are afraid that it's not going to be stable enough for wherever you're going to put your wreath, you might want to put some hot glue on the pin, you know, as you're sticking that in there, and then you know it'll stick good to the plastic and the styrofoam. So now I'm using the rest of my pins, and these are like quilter pins. They have the little balls on the top. So I don't think they're as sturdy. I probably will go back and put a little dot of hot glue everywhere, but I can do that after the fact. It's fine. I don't know. A lot of people say there's some rhyme and reason to this, but I just don't see it. It's Geo Mesh and it's super easy, so it's hard to mess it up. I say that every time I do a Geo Mesh tutorial, but it's really hard to mess up Geo Mesh. Okay, I think this might be the last one I need to stick in. See how it goes. Yep. Okay, so I hope that's in frame, and if it's not, you still get the gist of it here, and then in pictures you'll get to see the rest. Now what I want to do is I want to do one more layer on the top portion here, and this one we'll do a little bit different in the way we lay it, and then we're going to use the brown for our center. I'm not going to worry about the sticker because the brown's going to cover that up. Seriously, I'm into easy. I hope you guys are too. So if you don't like an area and you think you need to add more, then add more. It's really simple like that. The one thing I may do is go ahead and plug up my glue gun and just come through and just put a dot everywhere that these meet. Not pull it off or anything. Just put a dot so the Geo Mesh and the styrofoam are touching. And the thing is, if you're going to ship this to somebody, like if this was going to be a gift, I would probably definitely do the hot glue. Just put a little dot where it touches so that everything is kind of adhered. Okay, so we've got this part done. I've heated up my glue gun. And I want to show you what I'm talking about. Just like right here where this meets, I'm just going to put a dollop of glue and just let that touch. Right here, just let it touch. It will melt into the styrofoam and into the Geo Mesh, and I think it's plenty. It's not like you're going to be throwing this around or anything. It's just going to be on a front door, you know, or inside even. So just a little dot there. At each petal is what I'm going to do. This to me is a lot faster than doing one at a time, you know, as we go. And please know, I'm not a wreath professional. I don't sell these. I don't make money off of them. This is just what I would do if I was crafting a wreath. This is literally how I would make one for my own house. So if you've seen better tutorials you want to go with, I totally understand that. Okay, we're back to the start. Alright, it's time for layer number 2. Now we're going to do it slightly different. I have these things everywhere, y'all. Okay. Slightly different on this one. What we're going to do, same petal fold, same corner to corner through the middle. Okay. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fold them up in half and put the pin through the side, because we're going to pin it straight down into our styrofoam. So this one's going to go. Now for this one, we're going to need hot glue. It does not want to sit. So we're going to take the glue, put a dot where I'm going to put the pin through, poke the pin into the glue, and let it sit down into the hot glue just for a second. It did not want to stay, so I did have to pin that one. I'm also not worried that that's a red pin. I'm going to cover that up. You'll see it. This second layer is super cute because the way we fold it makes it kind of fold up different, and so it looks really cute. It really looks like a nice layered up flower. So let's do another one together. I think I'll turn this one over so you can kind of see. I'm taking this point and squishing them together like so, folding it in half, and then putting the pin through that. Okay, so the pin is through that. Then I'll put a dollop of hot glue for my pin to sink into. Put this pin through that hot glue, and then the Geo Mesh will catch on the hot glue. You really don't even have to play with these petals. You can, but they just kind of do their thing. It's super cute. Okay, next ones. Just keep going, doing the same thing all the way around. One thing I'm having an issue with is my straight pins are a little too long for my styrofoam, so I'm putting them in at an angle so that they don't come through the other side, and that seems to be helping real well. So just adjust based on your straight pins, or get smaller straight pins, either way. So fold it in half, straight pin through it, hot glue where we're going to put it. I need to put some more hot glue in my gun. And like I said, I'm going at an angle with my straight pin. So I got one more to put in right there. So, 2 layers. Notice I have strings and things hanging. That's okay. We can deal with those. It's not a big deal. But now we're going to do the center. And my plan for the center is a lot like we've done those wreaths in the past where we've just done the loops. So let me show you how we're going to start that. I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay, so for the last part, super easy. I took some of the brown and I cut pieces so that they would curl up on each other. You know, we've done a wreath before where we did the circles. I'll link that below if you hadn't seen it, but it's just circles like this. What I'm going to do is curl this really tight in the center. Just with my fingers. Just roll it up tight. As tight as you, it doesn't have to be perfectly tight, but fairly tight. Something like that. So I have these ends, okay? Then I'm going to come back to the wreath. Put a pin through the center of my twist. Put some hot glue on the wreath. I'm just going to do it to the center first just to show you. Okay? Then put that pin in. And I'm still going at an angle with my pin so that they'll fit. And as we go, we'll just do this all the way around. So I've twisted this one tight. Okay? Put the straight pin in the center. Fold it up. Put some hot glue next to the last one. And use that pin. Poke it down in there. And you see how that's going to kind of fill up? So we're going to do that for the whole circle. Just fill up that whole circle with those little doolies like that. Little doolies. So rolling again. So I'm having to do that off camera, but you can see that it's just a rolled up twist. Okay? Straight pin through the center. And that sticks out the bottom. Hot glue on the inside. And put that straight pin in. So I'm just going to do this to the whole center and just fill this up, okay, until it is nice and full. So for the hanging piece on the back, I'm just going to do something really simple. I'm going to take a piece of chenille. This is a chenille stem. I'm going to fold it in half to make it a little stronger, and then twist it to make it even stronger. And listen, this wreath weighs nothing. It is geomesh and styrofoam, so you can imagine it literally weighs like nothing. So I'm just going to twist and twist and twist this. Now, I really honestly believe you could just hot glue this to the back, but I'm going to poke a couple of holes. And I'm just going to use a pin to do that, to kind of give me a place to poke it into. Like that. And then, the cool thing is this wreath has no up or down. It's a flower, and it's the same, you know, all the way around. Now I'm going to fill these with hot glue, just so there's something for the chenille to catch on. And then I'm just going to poke this in as far as it'll go down. And it's going to sink into that hot glue. And that hot glue can kind of melt into the styrofoam too, so you'll get that as well. And then just fold it forward. And just let that dry in place before you hang it. That's all there is to it. That's a quick, easy hanger. And I promise, it looks crooked and all that. It just does. But when you hang it up, it'll be fine. And I'll show you pictures. Because this is round. And like I said, the wreath has no top or bottom. It'll be just fine when you hang it up. So now, I will get 2 pictures of it hanging up. So this is the sunflower wreath on my door. It's on an interior door at this point. But look how cute. I think this turned out really well. Super easy. It weighs nothing. I'll show you from the side. It's all sunflower. You see how thick it is? You see from the top. I love this wreath. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will talk to you guys on Wednesday. Thanks so much. Bye.